because Patrick Hueller, I believe you have a new book available. So please tell us about your newest book, Read at Your Own Peril.
I do indeed. I will do the Mari thing. I'll hold it up.
Beautiful.
It's going to be very awkward because I like to gesture, so pretty soon it's going to get like this. So the idea behind Read at Your Own Peril is it's sort of a dystopian story in which there is a coma outbreak, and it turns out that, or at least the world seems to believe that students are literally going into comas because they are reading. Like, reading causes comas. And so reading is quickly banned, made illegal. You're a criminal if you read. The reason I came up with the book was thinking, like, what makes students read? Like I said, I'm an English teacher as well. And so I'm always thinking about why is it that some students read? And I think that as a society, we do a pretty good job. I call it like the librarian way of getting kids to read, which is to say that it is safe and good for you and warm. And like there's a very welcoming message that people who are dedicated to reading give to kids. And I was thinking, why doesn't that work sometimes? And I think one of the answers is because we also want reading to be dangerous and thrilling and even illicit. Like we want a lot of things to be that way. And so I was definitely trying to work with this metaphor without hopefully the reader necessarily realizing it's a metaphor of what it feels like when you're not a confident reader to be told to read, which is this idea of your eyelids getting so heavy that they're going to close, your eyes glazing over, getting bored. And so I literalized that, or metaphor, I don't know what the right way to put it, but literally the students go into comas. And the idea is that you're taking a risk in reading this book. I'll tell you, it's been really fun. I've never really liked promoting my stuff, even though it's kind of a necessary evil. And it's been really fun promoting this one for that reason, because I can use that same silly reverse psychology, telling people, don't you dare read this book. And hopefully, they feel like I do want to read this book because of that.
Well, it's very fun. As I was reading, I was like, oh my God, am I myself risking a coma by engaging with your novel? I think metaphoricize is the word we're going to go with. I'm just going to nominate that into the
We're
world.
all word people. We all agree. I think that's how English works anyway, right? Don't we actually just kind of agree on it, and then we get to use that as a word?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
If I get the both of you plus like maybe 20 more people, we could probably get it in Webster's.
It'll be in the dictionary. Yeah.
And then who is the ideal reader for Read at Your Own Peril?
Well, the idea, I really believe that I hope that I've written a book that like pretty much anyone who is 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade could read it and dig it. There's a little bit of a sort of romance in there, despite it being hopefully a little bit scary. I don't think that it's, once you actually get into it, I don't think it's where many readers would close the book. They're so scared, and so hopefully, but I admit that like my dream reader is the kind of reader who thinks they don't like reading, and they find this book and they tear through it, and they're able to say not only did they read, but they read a whole book, and they read a whole book quickly. That's kind of like, but then again, now that I'm saying that, then I'm like, I've been told that's like, why would you ever want to market to the ones who don't read? So also kids who like reading will like it too. I really think that, as an English teacher, it's hard not to think about those students who don't seem to tap into the energy of a book that you're teaching. And why is that? And so I think this is the kind of book where a student could independently tap into that energy.
How do you fight off despair if you're working with kids and they're not finding Updike interesting, or they're not finding Twain interesting? What hope do the rest of us have?
Right. Well, one thing I would say is I think there's a point in my teaching career, I've been teaching a while actually now, where I found myself arguing too much with students, being like, no, you're wrong, and here's why you're wrong. And so I finally had to like do a little bit of a reflection and realize, now wait a minute, like is that really why I liked reading? Did I like reading because adults told me that, no, this is good, you're wrong? And so I try not to fight that. We actually, my high school is during this pandemic at least, and I hope it extends longer. We are actually trying to do an independent reading workshop model like throughout this semester. We're currently at a distance, and we'll see if we end up going to hybrid or what. But that's what we have adopted. And I was one of the proponents of that. I really think that we make a mistake when we say, no, we got to read these 4 texts this year. And instead, I want to think, a reading workshop. The idea is the students who arrive who already like reading, instead of reading 4 to 6 books, will read literally hundreds in a year. And the students who claim not to like reading, hopefully will like it more by the end. And also, just by the nature of how the classroom is set up, will hopefully have read 15, 20 books in a year. So it just feels like a win-win if we can sell it to our students. So I'm just a big believer in what matters most is just that you're churning through the pages as a reader.